Kansas City, welcome back to Only Here in KC with me, Connie Gutierrez. Today's show is going to be a little different. We're going to kind of take a little bit of a walk through memory lane as opposed to just learning a little bit about me, background information, and just really who that I am so you can get to know me a little bit better. If you've stuck with me since the beginning or been with me since the beginning, you have learned that I have had 4 previous guests. The first one was Danielle Lucia, and she was a dancer from here, local Kansas City. My second guest was Deanna Condori, who's owner of Condor's Cove as a bar and the Tiki, so please look at that episode as well. My third guest was Hannah Soroka, and she is a health coach. And my fourth guest was Kate Whitefield, and she is a local singer who's releasing a new EP. So please make sure you look back at those episodes, and let's get started to today. So like I said, today is going to be a little different. I have a couple questions that viewers have asked me, and I'm going to reference to that and just really get to know who Connie Gutierrez is, as I am the guest or the host of Only Here in KC, and I just think it's important that you get to know me. So the first one is background. So my background is I was born in Bogota, Colombia. I moved here to the States when I was about 6 years old, and I grew up in Michigan. Not a lot of people know that from Kansas City, but I was raised in Michigan, and then I moved to Kansas City about 8 years ago. And I moved to Kansas City with my family, my immediate family, my stepdad, my mom, and my sister. Most of my family present now is in Colombia, my uncles, my grandparents, all my cousins. So I really just have my immediate family here in Kansas City. I talk to my family in Colombia all the time, of course. My grandma, my aunts, and all of them, and I visit them. I try to visit them as often as I can. A little bit more about me is, since I've been here in Kansas City for 8 years, I did graduate from the University of Kansas with a bachelor in science education. And what that is I am a teacher, okay? So I have a lot of different professions that I take part in, okay? One of them is, depending on the day, I wear different hats, and depending on the hour, I am an educator. I have been teaching for about 6 years now. And I love my students, and education is an important part in my life. Part of it being because I am the first in my family who has graduated from accredited university, and that's really big for me. I'm very proud of that, and my family is very also proud of me for that. And I like to share that. So education is a huge part, which is the reason why I became a teacher. As a teacher, I teach Spanish, and I also teach English to learners of a second language, also known as ESL. That part I taught for 2 years in the high school level, and that was really important to me because as an immigrant coming to the States when I was 6 years old, just like any other immigrant student coming to the States, you are placed in an ESL classroom. So it's definitely an important part in my life to learn English, and of course I came at a young age, so learning English was definitely an impactful time, and just kind of learning about the culture of American culture. So education is a big part of me, and I wanted to find a way in the career that I could give back to the community, give back to that community of ESL students, but also just to students in general, because I love the youth and I support the youth, and it's very important, and it's our future. So for me, that's really a really important part of my life. Other than an educator, I am also a photographer. I do a lot of photography on the side. I do photographs, I do different shoots for family members, friends, and pretty much anybody that asks. So that's like a side little job passion that I also have. Another thing that I do is I am also a recent realtor. So here in Kansas City, I'm a real estate agent, and I help the community, again, find people, or help people find, families find their homes. So that's something that is really important to me, to give back to the community, and I found it through education, I found it through photography, and I have found it also through being a real estate agent. And the last thing is, as kind of what brings me to here, is I'm also a creator. So I am a visual learner, and I've always been very, very creative. and different things, whether it's making videos, through photography, editing, and I've also been somebody who just wants to pursue different passions. And one of them is, the biggest passion is to help the community and really just give back, to share my experiences, and to really just be able to connect with people and inspire them in some type of way. So that's where TELEVIDA and Exofilms comes in. And the director, Joseph Garcia, I met him through a friend, and that's how I ended up being here. Just taking an opportunity that was presented to me and being here and having this platform where you're watching at home and we're able to connect in a different level. And hopefully something that I say, something that the guests that I bring in, you're able to be inspired, and you're able to learn from yourself and also from Kansas City. Okay, so another question that I have is, what is the goal in your life? So a goal in my life is to create a meaningful life. And as I mentioned before, I follow my passions. Anything that I have, any ideas that I have, any opportunities that present in my way, I go for it. I don't make excuses. I just 100%, whether I know it or not, I jump in with 2 feet and I learn, which kind of goes with my passion for education. I love learning about many things. Pretty much even being here in front of you. I'm learning to be in front of a camera. So, of course, it comes with just having that open mindset and being able to just adapt to any situation, be able to take those opportunities and, just continue your passions. Another question is, what motivates me? And this is a difficult question for me to ask, because if I ask you at home, or I would like to ask you at home, is to think about what motivates you. And let's take a second. What motivates us to get up every morning? That's just kind of the question that how I took this. And truthfully for me, what motivates me is my family. And to be able to get up and connect with people and just help each other out. I'm a true believer that by helping each other out, we're able to rise and grow together. I use that through, photography. I love helping people. I'm using it through this platform, just connecting with people and bringing in guests and being able to help them grow their business, get their ideas out, be able to share their story and inspire others like they've inspired me. So that's kind of one of the things that really motivates me. Like I mentioned, my family is one thing that really motivates me. My mom, shout out to my mom, I love you. She is pretty much the strong woman that you see in front of you right now talking to you is because of my mother. She is everything to me, and family is everything to me. So I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful to always have their support. And my family, back in Colombia as an immigrant, my grandma back in Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, my uncles, my cousins, they're constantly motivating me because I am truly, and I know I'm blessed to be here in the United States and to be able to pursue my dreams and to be able to support and help those around me, including starting with my family, but also anybody else that I meet throughout life in my journey. Okay, now I'm getting excited. So one of the questions is, how are you able, this is a question, if you know me, you know that I travel a lot, and it goes with taking an opportunity that it presents myself. 6 years ago, I had just, an awakening, I guess you could say, that I was through a transition in my life that I really was questioning as how many opportunities have I said no to and how many opportunities have I actually said yes. And traveling is the thing that really kind of put me in that lifestyle of constantly taking the opportunity that if a friend calls me and said, hey, let's go to Spain or let's go to Italy, as a friend did, true story, her name is Selena. She's also an educator. She called me one day and said, hey, let's go to Italy, and the tickets are $300, $500 or something around those lines. It was really cheap. She finds a way to do it. So she called me, she's like, hey, do you want to go and kind of take on and go on this travel and this trip randomly during spring break? I'm like, sure. I was pretty scared. As many of you guys, when you are thinking about traveling, where's the money coming from? different anxieties of like, can I do this? Where can I get the money? Where do I go? I'm going to a different country that I don't know. So a lot of different questions pop in our minds when we have these opportunities. And when I was asked, hey, let's go to Italy, it really sparked this like fire inside of me and say, okay, let go of those fears and just go for it. You'll come up with the money. And honestly, I did. I've saved up, but I came up with the money, and then I went to Italy. And ever since that experience, just knowing that I was able to step out of my comfort zone, buy that ticket. Of course, I was with a friend. Go to a country that I've never been before, not know anything about it, and just, I don't know Italian. It's close to Spanish, and I know Spanish. But just being able to do that and being able to step out of the comfort zone, for me, that moment was monumental, and it really helped me to see that, hey, I can do this. I can do things if I work hard at that, and I can make it happen. So if you're at home, one of the things that I really want you to take from this little story is that if you're questioning, of course, there's a pandemic right now, so safely, but if you're questioning about just going to a new city, it doesn't even have to be out of the States, going to a new city, or just going on a road trip, or going to a new country, something that you've always wanted to go to Paris. Save up, be safe, maybe take a friend, or maybe go alone, but trust me, you will not regret it. You learn so much through those experiences, and I promise you that it really, really will make an impact in your life. So for me, that was traveling. And how I travel so often is I save my money. I have different websites as well that, like, I don't know, cheap flights. Allegiant is a really good one as well, that within the States, if you look it up, it really does, it's very affordable with flying. So look it up, but Allegiant is a good one through the States, and then just kind of bargain shopping through traveling, honestly. I have traveled through, I went to Italy, I've gone back to Colombia, I have a couple other plans. I plan on going to Hawaii. But another way that when I'm fiending, when I'm like craving that moment to just go, of course, and during the pandemic, it's made it more difficult to really go out and see the world. I have gone on road trips, and I've been fortunate that I've gone on 2 road trips, and it is possible during a pandemic to go on a road trip, to live out of a car. I know it sounds crazy, but picture yourself living out of a car for 2 years, or not 2 years, wow, that would be a lot, for 2 weeks, and just going to different national parks. I did it, and you can do it too, okay? It is possible. The first time with a friend, we converted an Astrovan, and luckily enough, it did not break down during those 2 weeks, but it was definitely a questionable van. But we went around for 2 weeks, and we went all the way up to Oregon, down to California, down to Vegas, and then back up. We went through many different states. The second time that I did it with a different friend, and I didn't have the Astrovan at that time, but what I did do is, you know, you gotta be innovative and you gotta think about it. My small car that I have, it's not big enough, and it doesn't fit 2 bodies to actually sleep in it. So what I did is I had the idea of, let's rent an SUV. So I rented an SUV, and we converted that in the least, I don't know, I guess, undestructive way that you can for a leased, or not a leased car, but renting a car for that time frame. We took yoga mats, we had those, what's it called, the night shades that just kind of make it dark in there. We converted it and just kind of did our own thing, and we lived out of that car for 2 weeks. Now, be mindful that when you're on a road trip and you're living out of a car, when you're doing that, you're doing it with the purpose to be out with nature, to go into national parks. At least that's what it was for me. So most of the time I was outside. I was going through different national parks, we were hiking, we were in the water, we were doing a lot of things. So when we slept in the car, it really wasn't that big of a deal. By the time we made it to the car, it was like, hey, we're tired, let's sleep, let's crash, and up in the next morning. And we cooked out of just a little barbecue, we had our own food on there, oatmeal, peanut butter, really not luxurious at all, but that kind of living, that kind of stepping out of your comfort zone and really doing something that just gets that you've been wanting to do, it's so important to just follow that and do it. So that's the whole spiel about traveling. Another question that I have is, what have you learned through your experiences? And let me tell you, I have learned a lot, and I want to share this with you guys, and I want you to really take a journey and really sit back and think about these things, because I really feel that they will help you. The first thing is, be ready to adapt and change the direction at any moment. So specifically now in the pandemic, whatever that you've been, I guess not whatever, but think about and reflect what you've been throughout this whole year. And think about how many times you have adapted to change. You know, it could be as just adapting to wear a mask. It could be adapting to, for me, it was teaching remotely to my students, a different aspect. And that's one thing that I've learned definitely a lot hardcore through this year, is being able to adapt and being able to adapt to change, because our journey, we have to trust our journey, right? It will steer us in different ways. It won't always be a straight line. It won't always, there'll be some construction, there'll be some kind of routing and all this stuff in like different ways, but you have to adapt and you have to go with it and trust yourself along the way, because it is your journey, and you're, like my friend says, your journey will not steer you wrong. So that's one thing that I really want you to think about. The next thing is, always follow your passion. I've talked about this before, is following my passion, okay? So I'm a real estate agent, I am an educator, I'm a photographer, and I'm a creator. And I do this all the time. I can do it, I can wear all hats in one day. And this is me following my passion. And you know, it might seem like a lot, but truly to me, and I'm a hardcore believer that if you follow your passion, everything else will be okay. As long as your heart's in it and you follow it, everything will be okay. So just follow your passion. If you have a dream that you've been wanting to do, or something new that you've been wanting to try, it could be, I don't know, rollerblades. Go get some rollerblades and just, you know, start learning. Maybe it could be traveling and going somewhere. Maybe you want to go to Hawaii. Go ahead, book that flight and go to Hawaii. But just follow your passion, because I'm telling you, you will grow from it and you won't regret it. Okay, the next thing is, making mistakes is about learning. So this is something that I tell my students all the time. Mistakes, I mean, they happen. You have to learn from those mistakes, and who and how you act after those mistakes is really what's going to show you and what's going to help you grow. So, you know, we're all humans. We're not perfect. We make mistakes every day, and it's okay. You know, it's okay. You just have to learn from them. So that's something that for me has really helped me to kind of grow and really learn from. The next thing is, learn from those around you. Okay, well, there's a key word again. As an educator, I love to learn, and I'm constantly observing those people around me, and I'm learning, but not only learning about them, but just what they have to say, and learning about people's mistakes as well. You know, we learn through, we're humans, we learn through, we seek social groups and settings, and we learn through our experiences, but also through other people, specifically people that you're close to and you respect. So that's something that for me has really helped me as well. The next thing would be nice to everyone. Now let's take that in. I'm sure we've seen it in different shirts. We've seen that in hoodies as be kind. It's been quotes. It's been on, I don't know, different slogans everywhere. Be a nice person. But what does that really mean? It's not about just be a nice person to this person and then just turn around and then just kind of change and do a whole persona. Being a kind person to everyone is, for me, has been something that I walk through, and everything that I do with love, okay? We may not always agree with everyone. I mean, I know for sure I don't agree with everyone, and maybe ideas. We have different differences, but just be kind. And something that I want you to take on is that next time that you go on a date, or maybe next time that you're just out in public, be observant of the people that you're with. Because you can learn a lot from someone by the way that they, if you're in a restaurant, by the way that they treat the waiters, okay? Now, what does that mean? Well, we tend to look at people, and as humans sometimes, from my experience, I've seen a lot of people that look down at others, and that's not okay ever. It's never okay. And it could be subconsciously or it could be purposeful that these actions are taken. So what I mean about being a kind person and just be nice to everyone is being nice to everyone. It's not the easiest thing, but it goes a long way. You don't know their story. You don't know what they're going through. And just being nice and just kind of going above your way really goes a long way, because I sometimes just smile or I say hi to random people here and there, and you don't know what that smile or just saying hi to that person that one moment really could have done in their life. Maybe they have like a really rough day, and just somebody saying hi to them, just somebody seeing them really kind of change that mindset in that moment or something like that. Because I know for sure on hard days, and maybe on hard days for you, if you're in a grocery store and somebody just kind of smiles at you or says hi to you or just kind of compliments your shoes or compliments something, deep inside that really affects you in a way. Okay, so next thing is take care of yourself and self-care, okay? That is really important. So self-care is something that I am a true advocate about. And this is just nourishing yourself, nourishing your mind, nourishing your heart, and really taking care of yourself. And that's something that is very, very important for me. For me, it could be through going to the gym, eating well, just knowing what you're putting yourself and in your body. That is really something that I definitely have learned, and I like to share that. The next two things are eliminate negativity and mindset is everything. Your mindset is everything, and I am a huge advocate of mental health, okay? And specifically now during a pandemic, that there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot going on in the world. Our brains are stimulated through a lot that may be negative. So just be mindful and be kind to your mind, and I honestly have that in a sweater. Be kind to your mind. When you're having those thoughts that you're talking to yourself and you're talking very negative, change it. I know it's easier said than done, but try it. It is a lifestyle, and that's something that I've learned along the way, to be kind and be nice to yourself, because in the end, that will shine through and to everybody around you. And the last thing is stop comparing yourself to others. Now let's take that in. How many times today have you compared yourself to others? It happens a lot with women, and I won't go down that road, but it does. As a woman, it's natural to compare. As a human, it's natural to compare ourselves. Oh, those shoes are better than mine. Oh, those shoes are cute. Or, the hair looks so healthy, just as simple as that. Or it could be, especially in social media, we're so quick to assume that people on social media, if we're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or whatever, that they are living this luxurious life, that they're just happy all the time. And we're constantly comparing ourselves, and I see this in high school students as well, that they're comparing themselves and, thinking that some other people are better than them, when in reality, they're not. We're all the same. We're not all the same, but we're all humans. And trust me, if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, somebody's comparing themselves to you. And the thing is that you need to focus on being your authentic self, because nobody is going to be the best version of you than you, okay? So next time you start comparing yourself to whoever because of a job or because the house they live in or the car that they drive or whatever profession, stop for a second and really think about yourself and be proud of yourself and where you're at, because there's nobody out there like you, and that is beautiful, and you need to be your true authentic self, and that's something that I've learned along the way. Okay. So getting to a closing, as one of the questions I've had people ask me with all these projects and just following my passion and a lot of things that I'm working on, different projects here and there, I wanted to talk about a little bit about what's next. So for me, through TELEVIDA, this is a platform that I have created along with the production of Exo Films and also Joseph Garcia as the director. For me, I want to create this platform to continue to invite people and guests here from Kansas City and really teach people internationally, because this is an international show. I mean, everybody can see this, right? Even my family from Colombia, to really teach them and have people learn what Kansas City and what the community is, because it's a beautiful city. It really is. And just recently I've learned a lot about it. I am a true I can say, true fan of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes and all of them, I am 100% on board. Saying that I'm from Michigan and a Lions fan, that's a whole different thing because I started respecting the sport just a couple of years, so I can truly say that. But for me, I really want to create this platform, and I hope that you're enjoying it and the guests, and I'll continue to bring guests to just help us learn and meet new people and connect. And in reality, what the goal is to build each other up and to support each other. Now, you may reach me at my Instagram at All Things Connie. You may also, I will continue to have some videos as well on YouTube at All Things Connie as well. And you may follow the project, the Reason Project, and my friend who I had as a guest, Hannah Soroka, who's currently in Hawaii. You can follow the podcast that her and I have, which is Connie and Hannah Unraveled. And all right, Kansas City, that's a little bit about me. I hope that you were able to learn a little bit about myself, but also see yourself, because in a way, I'm kind of a reflection of you, right? I'm learning. I am wanting to share my dreams and my success and everything with you. And also, I hope that we're able to work together to build each other up and really, truly get to teach people around the world the heart of Kansas City and how beautiful a city is. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time and here in TELEVIDA, a production by Exofilm Studios, and I will see you next week. Thank you, guys.